Welcome back to the Love series.
Hey, welcome back to the Healing Station, folks. We are so happy that you guys were able to join us for another podcast or another episode. And as my beautiful wife says, this is our fourth episode, and we're going to talk about love.
Love.
It's been a beautiful week.
Yes.
I would have to say, we've been traveling back and forth, and we're back home again. As you can tell, we're in our movie theater.
Yes.
Go Eagles.
And we have come up on our very, very, very first month of the Healing Station.
Yay!
We are so happy.
That is
And we
amazing.
give God all the glory.
Yes.
Hence
Yes.
our shirts. Not only are we celebrating the month of love, but hence our shirts, the month of love. But we want to say to God,
Yes.
to God
Yes.
be the glory for the wonderful things that He has done.
Yes.
None of this would be possible without God. We do
agree.
not
Yes.
come on here sounding like we know it all, that we are experts. We are just two people, two vessels that have been chosen by God, who are giving our testimonies how God has turned our lives around, who have been through experience of life through death by not have been through death, who have experienced loss through death and loss through divorce. And we want to let someone know that there is life after through Christ.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, this is our fourth podcast. So we have gone strong for
a month.
4 weeks, totaling 1 month. And oh my gosh.
And let me say too, sweetheart, we're still growing.
We are.
We are continuously growing each and every single day. It's not that we have reached a pinnacle of knowledge or we live long enough that we experience everything. We haven't. We are truly, as my wife says, we are two beings God is using to bring forth a message of healing, reconciliation, hope to everyone that has experienced loss of a spouse through death or a loss of a spouse through divorce. There is, as we always say, there is life after death.
Yes. And we are encouraging you, never give up.
Never give up. Yes.
Don't let your hearts turn cold. That is our primary focus that we keep on honing in on.
Yes.
God can give you a new start, a fresh start. We want to get the preliminaries out. It is nobody but the goodness of God. Nobody but the goodness of God. It's not me or it's not my spouse. It is nobody but the goodness of God. I want to say my husband, because people use that word spouse, when they're not happy. So they say spouse. That is the government's term when they put on the application. So I want to say my husband.
I'm your husband.
Yes.
I like that better.
Yes, me too. But I tell you, I am just so happy just to come up on 4 weeks strong.
Yes.
So with that being said, we had some questions that came in sticking to the month of love. Now we're going to move forward when we get into March. We're going to go back and talk more about grief. But right now, we just wanted to focus on the month of love and talk more about that, with it being Valentine's Day that we just celebrated. So we want to answer those questions.
Yes.
So our first question was,
who did the planning? Meaning, in our relationship when we first started, who actually did all the planning?
Who do you guys did all the planning? Who do you guys think?
Well, actually, most men probably would say the female did all the planning, but no. We worked closely together.
We both did the
Yes.
planning. It wasn't on either side. My part, I can't say I did it, and I cannot say that he did it. It was equal, and that is a true answer. We both actually
Truly
equal
mutual.
part. It was mutual. We both did the planning 50-50.
Yeah.
And I liked it that way. You know, we both talked about it and said, where do you want to go? He asked me, where did I want to go? And we made sure that, you know, we were in agreement on, you know.
And I found that it was crucial for us to make sure that the windows of communication when we first started out, the transparency was there. We wanted to make sure that there wasn't no confusion, you know, between or reading between the lines. I didn't want that. I didn't want to start off our relationship like that. And I explained to Lorenda, you know, and how, you know, how I always start things is the way I would love finishing, and finishing strong was the point of me making sure that we have transparency in our relationship and as well in our marriage. So just a hint to all the men out there, make sure that it's very, very, a very important thing to keep in mind whenever you're starting a relationship. Make sure that you have that transparency. It will take your relationship to a whole new level, having that truth-based outlook.
Right. Make sure you're saying exactly where you want to go, so that way you're not unhappy, ladies. I didn't want to go here. I didn't like this restaurant, or he took me here. It was too loud. If you don't like loud environments, then make sure you state your claim. But we went to like I love music and I like live bands. And we also, that was something a commonality that we did share. So it was wonderful. We did a lot of music events. That ranged from we did R&B concerts.
Yes.
We went to see Fantasia live. We went to see
oh wow, gospel concerts.
Yeah, we did gospel concerts a lot. Kirk Franklin live. We seen with Dorinda Clark Cole, Marvin Sapp. We did a lot of live jazz and dinner. Oh my God, I love jazz. So we did jazz like several times, at least 3-4 times. We did live jazz. It might have been even more than that, but live jazz, that was like our definite go-to spot. We did theater, a lot of theater. We went to Sight and Sounds. That was a good one. Then we did dinner after. We did like a lot of Bible-based places. We did Dave and Buster's, and that was one of the questions.
That's a good
what was our first? That was the question. What was our first place that we went? And that was Dave and Buster's. And I had never been, so he took me there.
Oh, that's my staple.
And that was a good place because it ended up being like an arcade. So if that's like, you know, your thing to do, but it was good because it was our first time. Not only was it my first time going, but it gave us time to like play like games too, to find out each other's personalities. So it helped with like a talking point and to see, you know, a fun side of him, and he got a chance to see a fun side to me. And then we turned around later on in the on the dating scene. We turned around and we brought my son. So it was good. That was way down the line, but still, it was a nice place. And my son ended up enjoying himself too. So we turned around and revisit the place, and now we still revisit.
That was a good bonding place too, you know.
Good bonding, right?
Yeah.
And then we had spa dates.
Plenty.
Yeah. And I still like spa dates, but and then lots of birthday events. So with my friends' birthdays, with family birthdays,
anniversaries. Oh, wow. Yeah, it was a lot.
And we attended one another's churches. So that's good too. So
yes.
Just to see, you know, is that person, and I know we know each other now, but does that person really go to church? You know, is that person or are they who they say they are?
What is their walk like?
What is their walk like?
Yeah,
Do they
with the Lord.
participate in church,
Yeah.
or are they just, church goers,
Yeah.
And I want to go back to the family events. It's good to take part in that because you want to see how that person interacts around their family. It's good because sometimes you don't, and it's not even about you being introduced to the family, but just hang around the family. You get a chance to see the family dynamics.
Yes.
Where does the family live? How was he or she brought up? What are the chastisements of the family? So these are good things that you can just observe. You can learn a lot about a person just by observing, not even saying anything. Is this the type of family you want to be around for the rest of your life? Is this the type of family you want your children to be around? And if you don't have children, is this the type of family you want to conceive into if you don't have children and you're looking to marry and birth children out of? So those are good things that you want to, consider when you're dating.
That's really deep.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Yeah. Right?
But, like most people really don't consider all of those.
You don't, but things. I did.
Yeah. See, and see.
You didn't know it, but.
No.
And he asked me, I said, well, I want to meet your daughter. I want to see what your daughter's like. And on our initial date, I stopped and got his daughter coffee, and I brought pink roses, and he was just like, for my daughter, like, what are you doing? But I was looking to see, what were her mannerisms? How was she going to receive me? And those are things that, I was looking for. I wasn't expecting for him to do that back for my children, but it's just something that I was looking for.
Right. And it was reciprocal too, because, for me to get into the mode of learning your children, you said one was 6 at the time and one was 23, I believe, or 22. And, getting to know them, it was fun. It was fun really getting to know them. One was pretty much an adult, another one was still in their adolescence. And you can pick and choose to do different fun things with them too.
Right. And you want to make sometimes you want to make sure the person that you're dating or courting, do they want children? Are they child friendly? Not everybody wants to be around a child. So, ask these questions.
Yeah, I think that's a whole nother podcast for
It is.
But necessary questions to ask yourself if those things are of an importance to you, especially getting into a new relationship. You have to look at the whole ballpark, if this is important to you or not. That's where transparency and being able to communicate with your partner, because that may be your potential life partner as well. So you want to make sure the groundwork is made in those early days, early months of your relationship.
Right.
You want to make sure that communication is actually made and trust is built.
Right.
Between the two of you.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
So moving on to the next question. See what was our first date? I guess we already covered that too with Dave and Buster's. But the next question is, what kept us intrigued? I can answer that from me, from my point of view. Wanting to learn more about this woman named Lorinda. I wanted to know more about your mind. I wanted to know about what's going on behind your smile, your $1 million smile that you have, and just really understanding your heart. I think most men, they don't go that deep. Sometimes they go on the superficial. Does she look good? She got a nice looking body, but they forget there's a mind that goes along with that body too. And, I got both worlds to me. So, seriously. And I'm blessed that, God blessed you to have such a strong mind, to have an intelligent mind. It's who you are is what you attract.
Yes.
And I think that's what truly intrigued me in learning more about you, And is that what caused us to become attracted to each other is about your spirit. You know the Lord, not knew the Lord, excuse me, but you know the Lord, and my spirit connected with yours, and I was intrigued from day one, being online with you and speaking with you, and really texting you sometimes all night long, and wanting to learn more about you and trying to pull information and try to get more information from you. That's the part that really pulled me in. How about you?
For me, what kept me intrigued was I remember us being on the dating app, and you had said, I met, you know what I'm going to say? Oh, because you already said, So for me, it was the moment that I had messaged you and you said, I'm looking for my best friend.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, you're looking for your best friend. And I thought, tell me more. And then you had explained to me that you were married for 23 years and you were looking for your best friend, but you had explained to me what had happened to your former wife and how she had passed away with cancer. And I thought, wow, that was so special. And it was the next sentence. You said, had she not passed away, you would still be married. And that touched me because, I didn't think I would get emotional. Wow.
It's all right.
Wow. That was real. It touched me because I think there was where I met you where you were, because I related. Even though you were talking about your former wife, I knew what it was like right then and there to lose someone. And I too had lost my best friend. And I related to you because I had lost my best friend to cancer as well. And her name was Tisha. And
It's okay. Take your time.
So I understood what you meant when you said you lost your best friend. I knew what it was like. And I knew that if I could be a friend to you, I know that you could be a friend to me. And at that point, all I wanted to do was be your friend.
Yeah.
And so we had talked, and I began to ask you questions of how did you care for her, and what were your feelings, and were you okay? And we just started going deeper and deeper, and that's when we spent 4 to 5 hours on just the inbox at that time.
Yes.
And we just, the intriguing questions that we were talking about on episode 3, that's where we started to delve into more questions.
Right.
Yeah. So I started to tell you all about Tisha, and you started to tell me all about, is it okay?
Yes.
You started to tell me all about Daisy.
Yeah.
And in that moment, we became friends. You and I.
That's right.
We became friends.
Yes.
And I remember telling you, okay, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. And so it was that you became intriguing to me.
Yeah.
And then I learned all about your daughter, and you learned all about my 2 children. Yeah. And I learned so much in one night. And you seemed like such an awesome guy, such a powerful guy, such an intelligent, wise man, a man of God, a man of valor. And I just was like, wow. It just seemed so unreal. And I just was like, man, Lord, if this man is real, like, allow him to, be there tomorrow. And I can't wait to delve in, even more. I forgot I was talking to the people. I'm sorry, y'all. I really did. See, you captivated me again.
I'm glad I have that
Yeah,
power
you
over
definitely did. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm not used to this podcast life. But yeah, so that was the intriguing moment for me. We connected on talking about a tragic moment that had happened for the both of us, but we related to one another through that tragic moment. But it was so surreal, and I knew that, I had so much respect for him and how he was doing so well caring for his daughter and so well trying to care for his heart. Even though he said that, he needed a friend, and even though he said that he needed someone's support, I knew that I could support him. I knew that I could give him encouragement. And that was what I did. Even when it came to his former wife, her death anniversary was coming up. And this is how we built the friendship.
Yes.
He said, I want to honor her. Her year anniversary is coming up. How do I honor her? What do I do? And we went. I said, well, here's what you do. I said, this is what I did for my best friend. I said, we took balloons, and my best friends and I, there's 5 of us, and we did a balloon release. And I said, we got pink balloons for breast cancer. She passed away of breast cancer. And we went to her gravesite, and just the 5 of us, and we didn't showcase it on Facebook or anything. And we got 5, each of us got balloons, and then we did a big tea. And we put that on her gravesite, and we silently said our words to each other. We took the phones off record, and we got a bouquet of roses, and we all drove up, the 5 of us, and we said our words, and we released all the pink and white helium balloons, but we kept the tea, and we put the tea on her gravesite. And then afterwards we went up to New York, the 5 of us. Excuse me, it's 5 of us, but 4 of us left. And we went and we had brunch at one of her favorite restaurants.
Yes.
And then we just, commemorated her memory. Yes. And we just talked and laughed and told jokes about what she would say to us and do. And I shared that memory with him. So I told him, let's do it with your family. And I wrote this big thing up for her. And I asked him what her favorite color was. And he told me green and gold. And we went to Party City, and I ordered the balloons for her. And we sent out the message to his family, and we all met at her gravesite. And
it was a beautiful time.
Yeah, we did a balloon release, and I ordered Sharpie markers, and I had all his family to write a message on the balloons. And respectfully, I didn't know how they would accept me because they didn't know me. So I stood back, and I had the Sharpies in the basket, and I just passed out the markers. And then I stepped back and gave all of his family their moment, and I allowed him to make the announcement of what to do with the Sharpies, to write a message on the balloons. And then I stepped back and allowed his family to have their sacred moment. And then they all released the balloons up in the air, and I took pictures of them.
I have to say, that was the most classiest thing I've ever experienced from anyone coming into my life. Expressing and honoring a loved one that's passed on, that was dear and close to my heart. And I just want to say thank you. I know I said thank you back then, but I just wanted to say it in front of everyone here, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
For being who you are, for being such a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Of course, anything for you.
You have been my best friend, and I appreciate you so much. I really do appreciate you. You mentioned that your girlfriend that passed on, being your best friend, and then your spouse. I'm sorry, and
Yeah.
And just,
if I could just cut you up, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
But God just gave it to me because I always say that I have 4 best friends, and I always say like he took one home, but God just gave it to me that now I don't have to say anymore that I have 4, but like now he gave me, not that he replaced, but he gave me, he added on.
Yes.
And I just realized that as we're talking and we're saying this, but that's what God will do.
Yes.
You know,
yes, he will.
He doesn't subtract, but he adds on. I'm sorry.
That's all right. You know, it's funny when you mention that, you know, you lost a spouse and you lost a friend. You know, I lost a spouse that was my best friend. You know, and I thought about that. I'm like, wow. I mean, when you really sit back and you really think about it, it's like we're both in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Amazing. But it's just amazing how God, like you said, he doesn't just replaces, he adds on. He doesn't just, you know, put things together that's a mess. He puts things together. He pulls relationships together for a reason, for a purpose. His will is being done, you know, and that's the part where, you know, we have to stop and give him glory and praise, because he sees beyond what we see. He knows what's going to happen tomorrow, 10 days from now, a year, 10 years from now. But this is where we have to have faith in God and trust in him, that he has our paths. He has our lives are in his hands. Period. Point blank, exclamation point. It's just the way that it is. Our lives are really in God's hands. We have to learn to trust in him. Everything goes back to faith in God, having faith in God.
Yes.
If we didn't have faith in God, oh my gosh,
yeah,
God knows where we will be.
Yes. God knows. And that's why we can not just wear a shirt that says "To God be the glory," but that's why we know without a shout of a doubt,
yes,
it is to God be the glory. Absolutely. For what we have been through in our lives singly and together as a married couple. It is to God be the glory.
All day. Truly all day, every day.
Yes.
Wow.
So what's our next question?
Okay, getting back to the questions. How far in between from the first date to the next date? So basically this question is asking what was the frequency of our time between seeing each other? And I know what you're gonna say. Well, let me start off saying, Lori, during the time that we were dating, we made a pact with each other that let me take it a step back. We made a pact with each other that because of the distance that we were living, she was in New Jersey, North Jersey, and I was in Philadelphia. So the distance there is an hour drive between our hometowns. And because of the distance, really, throughout the course of the week, the only thing that we're doing is either doing a FaceTime or calling each other on the phone every day. We made a pact that to see each other, we would not let no more than 7 days go by before we will see each other. So if it happens to be the 8th day, oh, I heard it. I heard it from her. And trust me, I made sure I kept to the 7 days.
Yeah, because I say that, ladies, because you want to see how serious he is about you. Stop. You want to see how serious he is about you. You want to make sure that, you know, he's going to come through when he says he's going to come through. You want to make sure he's reliable.
Of course.
Yeah. You want to make sure that the plan is going to keep to what, you know, it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, it's about dating, but it's going to be about the former things in life too. Because if he can't be consistent on the date, then how is he going to be consistent when you guys have some more serious things like your covering, like being a provider, like if you are ill, like making sure doctor's appointments are made, making sure, you know, you guys can have routines set in the household. So you want to make sure that these things are set early so that way further down the line also your routines can stay in place. So that was the whole thing for, you know, initially setting the timestamp. But also I want to push a little further because I also had a schedule for a bedtime routine. So I went to bed early. Stop laughing. So, because I told y'all, what was that, episode 2? I told y'all the memes, man, they was over there partying hardy over there. Central. They was woo-ha. They had the house going on over there. I told you, we was in the bed at 9:30 because we was in the bed over at my house 9:30 because DJ had school in the morning. My daughter was in college. And like I said, I just was, you know, I was used to a set schedule. And, you know, they just thought it was party zone, party city over there. Like, you know, and I just couldn't get with it. And I was just like, okay, so listen, I would have been at a certain time, you know, my lights is out. So I need to call me by 9:30. And if he didn't call, like I would sleep. I had a sleep timer on my phone, y'all. So when he would call after that, it wasn't that he wasn't allowed to call. I mean, I'm a grown woman.
D&D.
So the phone wouldn't even answer. It wasn't me that was saying he couldn't call. D&D was saying he couldn't call. The phone wouldn't even answer, so I wouldn't even know. So the next morning, he'd be like, I tried to call you. And I'm like, you did? I'm like, oh, do not disturb was on. I'm sorry. I wasn't. You didn't follow the routine. Sis was good night. But
there were so many nights I would call where I would call maybe 9:31, 9:40. You were out. So when she says that she has her sleep routine, trust me, it's a sleep routine that she did not hinder on.
I did.
She was true to it.
I did. Because let me tell you something. So here's where we go to the TED Talk. You know what was coming, guys.
Oh no.
You have to listen. You have to have your own life too, because here's the thing. See, he didn't tell you this part. See, on his what is it called? On his I don't like to get free promotion. On his how do I say, dating app? I'll say dating app. I'm not giving the name of the app. On his dating app, he had put he wanted a woman to take him to the next level.
Yes.
So how can I take you to the next level if you don't want to follow? Got to follow the routine. And in my previous relationship, I had given too much of myself where I had fell into a deficit. See, I was always the woman with the cape. Dun, 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 dun. I came running to the rescue. You need me? Dun, 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 dun. Here I come running. So how many of you heard the saying, what's in the cup is for me. What's in the saucer is for everybody else. So after I had worked a full day,
I like that.
Thank you. See, that's why you chose it. But after I had worked a full day, taking care of my toddler, mind you, I was in the middle of a separation. Mind you, I told you I had an autoimmune disease. Mind you, I had a home health aide that was helping me out. Mind you, I was walking around with a cane. Mind you, I was at the doctor with an autoimmune disease who was seeking physical therapy. I was in cognitive therapy. I was in and out of the hospital. I was learning how to walk again. Someone was helping me with my care. I was learning all these things all over again. So when it came to my healing, it took a lot for me to date again. It took a lot for me to say, I love me again. I went through 2 years of healing, 2 years of getting back to me, 2 years of reclaiming my time. So I was not about to allow someone else to play with my time. So if you wanted my time, it was going to cost you. So yes, sir, you do have to call by 9:30. You understand where I'm coming from now? It came with a price. So not only was I taking my time seriously, I was also testing myself to see if I had learned my own valuable lessons. So this wasn't just about him, honestly. This was about me.
Yeah.
COVID had just happened too. Wow. So again,
all that happened.
All of it was all of it. So did I learn before? Did I learn from my prior mistakes? Did I learn from being too needy? Did I learn from being everyone's help? I was tired of being the help. I'm not the help anymore. Now, when he becomes my husband, yeah, I'm gonna be there to help him. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna do my part. But right now, we're dating. Right now, I'm just getting to know you.
Yeah.
So I don't owe that to you.
But remember, you're laying the groundwork for what your relationship is going to be.
I'm laying the groundwork. So I was teaching him what I needed. I also needed to be poured into.
Right.
So if you would like to talk, we needed to do that before 9:30.
Right.
You needed to show me that you wanted to speak to me as badly as I wanted to speak to you. And as far as I checked, 9:30 before I went to bed wasn't the only time. So let's make this make sense.
Yeah. And see, a lot of people, excuse me, I'm not going to say people, I say a lot of men. Some men may look at that or hear your message as like, well, wow, she's so strict. But what I've understood, if you don't have some type of boundary in your life, you let anything come in and out, and you gotta be structured. A lot of
and that's what I am, and that's what it was about. It's not that I'm strict, because I'm very. Those who know me, I'm very soft. I'm very genuine. I'm not strict. And see, these are boundaries. And what I want you to understand is, boundaries are there to to keep people, to have respect for you. It's not to keep people out. Boundaries are, it's like a fence. Boundaries allow people to come and go. There's
as you please, not as allowing these people just to do whatever they want to do in your life. Right. You set up those boundaries to restrict. I don't want you going any further than this far in my life.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Right. A boundary is a fence. I can lock the fence. I can open the fence as I please. A wall is to keep people out. I didn't want to keep him out, but I had to set a fence to allow him to know this is what you can do and this is what you cannot do.
Right.
So it was never to keep him out. I just needed to set a tone so that way he knew a respect level. Because I was feeling him, so it wasn't there. I just had to set a tone.
Yeah, you were feeling me. Okay.
That was he knew.
No, okay. So the next question, actually, I wanted to go back for a quick second though. And the last question was in regards to like what kept us intrigued. And I mentioned, really. Something that I really want to mention to the men out there, just to, make sure that, the point is made. As men, we want to be able to do the necessary things that's going to pull our prospective woman into our lives, or to at least get us to be noticed by them. I think the most important thing that I've learned over my course of 30 some odd years, you know, is that you want to be able to, if you want to be intriguing to a woman, you want to be able to make sure that you hear her heart. You want to be able to, you know, have open communications with her. So when you do speak with her and she speaks her heart, it's going to come a time when she's going to test you. And she's going to find out, I wonder if he really heard me. I wonder if he really understands my heart. And then when you're spitting out everything that she's asked of you, that she knows now, he understands me. He hears me. This is the best way, in my opinion, to make sure that your woman actually understands that you have captured her heart and her mind. Make sure that you hear her heart.
Can you give more context to that?
Yeah. You know, you want to be able for a man to speak with a woman. You know, women are more feelers than men in most cases, and a woman will speak their heart. They will speak exactly how they feel.
Right.
And I think and you can attest to this as well, with me dating you, there's been plenty of times then where we spoke about really heartfelt things, you know, about our past, about, you know, how we came to this point in our lives, you know, with the loss of our spouses, and as well as other things. But I wanted you to understand that I hear you, that I wasn't just there just to be in your face or be in your space, but I really want you in my life. And I really want you to understand that, you know, at this very moment, you're the most important thing to me. And I want you to feel important, you know, and that's what, you know, to pull a person in, to pull their attention in to you, you want to make them feel important. You know, you want them to think like, hey, yeah, he made me feel like I'm the only person in this whole world that really understands me or hears me. And that's why it's so important that, you know, being men in a relationship, you know, it's not a I hate to say this word, but a girly thing for a man to feel.
It's actually more masculine.
Yes.
Because we want that. We don't want the games played. We want direct.
Yeah. And that shows
we prefer that.
Yeah. And see, and that's what I mean. You know, we want to be able to, you know, express that to our women, that I hear you, I feel you, I feel your heart. Not only do I feel your heart, but I'm listening to you, and I can understand wherever you're going or wherever you are.
And I can appreciate that because I think from the door, I must say that's what helped our relationship speed up. That's what helped us in the inboxes, on the dating app, because from the door, I don't know whether it was because we were so transparent with each other from the door. I don't know whether it was a combination of you being in a marriage for 23 years and me being in a marriage for 18 years, or if it was a combination of both, but we were so transparent from the door that we didn't create a false pretense in the inboxes. We gave it to each other raw and uncut. This is how many children I have. This is how many years I was married. This is what I went through in my marriage. I told you from the door about the relationship, about the autoimmune disease, about his addiction. You told me about what happened with your spouse. We were so transparent. We did not create a false trajectory. We didn't create a false pretense. We were so raw and uncut that we were like, okay, this is what it is, the here and now.
It is right there.
It's right here. Take it or leave it.
Take it
Are
or
we
leave it.
moving to the next phase?
That's right. That's right. And that's the most important piece.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people do miss is, you know, because I think we get into this, we're in this culture now where everything is
So fake. The
Yes.
fake pictures, the filters,
Yes.
I was like, no, this
AI.
is what my hair looks like. This is what I look like with long hair. This is what I look like with short hair. This is, we
No.
were raw about everything. This is the storyline. This is, no, we were raw about everything.
Be authentically you.
Yeah. Yeah.
As much as you possibly can. Be authentically you.
There were no, it was nothing fake. Like, my first question was, do I look like what I sent you? And he was like, yeah. No, in fact, you were like, yo, you look better. I was like, what? How do you look better than a picture like that I sent you? Like, I didn't understand it. But I guess because so many people send fake pictures, that's because they use so many filters. Like, ladies, stop it with the fake pictures. Men, stop with the fake pictures. Like, you're gonna see each other in real life. Why use it? Why? Yeah. If you wear glasses, you wear glasses. You got 4 eyes, you got 4. Like, if you got cataracts, you got 6. Like, stop. Like, why?
And in this age now of artificial intelligence, now it's getting very scary because now the dating world is like so fake. It's so fake, you know, and it's very hard to try to find those individuals that are truly authentic and real. You know, I can understand why some viewers now, they're scared to even get on some of these dating apps. I mean, I know we were hesitant at first, but you know, you see what God has done for us.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to take the chance. You have to take the chance and just trust God to guide you into where you need to be.
Allow him to give you the words to say, what to put on. Don't put any more on the app than needs to be.
More than needs to be,
If you don't cook, then say, I don't cook, but willing to learn. That's how real it should be. Like, just be honest, because what's going to happen is if you cook the man a meal and you bring there burning up rice, it's going to be like, well, I thought you said you love to cook. No, but perfect your gift. You know, like, be in there practicing, get some cookbooks, take a cooking class together. Like, there are things you can do to perfect your gift, you know?
Yeah. I love baking, and, you know, I tried cooking. It didn't work out that well, but I love baking though still.
And me, I'm the opposite. I love cooking. Baking is not my thing. I won't bake. I'll go get some nothing but cakes though. I don't bake. I'm just not into it. But I'll cook a meal in a minute.
And she will make that thing like it's no tomorrow. So good. Okay, so we're coming down to our last couple of questions. When will I see you again? I guess that's still based on the time gaps between when we've seen each other. Where did y'all hang out? Everywhere. Pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. I mean, there isn't a place that I wouldn't go. I mean, besides like Jersey. Clubs and stuff like that. Like,
we don't do that.
I don't hang out in clubs.
Neither do I.
But other than that, I mean,
if it's a jazz club now.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, it's it's a club, but if it's jazz or, you know, if it's a cultured place where, you know, you can eat and dine, dine in and eat, maybe, but like Zanzibar Blue. I'm not sure if you remember Zanzibar Blue. That was in Philly. That was a jazz club too.
Okay.
That was one that I remember from. I'm dating myself now. Back in the day.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think that, you know, anytime that we went, anytime, actually, I'll say it this way, anytime that we physically seen each other, we were always going out somewhere.
Yeah, you know, that's your girl. I love being out. I love,
We never let the grass grow underneath our feet.
Yeah.
And I think that's what keeps us like youthful
Youthful.
and
I enjoy.
going.
Yeah, we enjoy being out.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy having fun. We enjoy being around each other.
Yeah, I
We
love being
enjoy
with
other
you.
people. Yeah.
So yes, I mean, yeah, I think that was the last question.
Yeah.
So that was excellent. Please continue sending your questions to us
Yeah.
because we would love to take this time to elaborate on our lives, on our healing
Yeah.
journey that we're still living day in, day out. There's so much God has in store for each and every one of you. And in your own healing journey, I truly do believe, we believe, that there is life after death.
Absolutely. And before we go, I just want to say thank you to Dr. Gajera for sending me a Valentine's Day gift. She got me this box from India and this bracelet. So I want to say thank you to you. And I also want to shout out Gracie from Starbucks for allowing us to host our last podcast in Starbucks. I told
in
her
Jersey.
we would shout her out. And we want to end our podcast and we want to say choose love daily, choose grace often, and never stop choosing each other. One love, one covenant, and one God. Babe, you want to pray us out?
Absolutely. Father God, in Jesus' name, we just thank you and we praise you again for a successful episode today, Father God. We ask you to bless each and every listener, every subscriber, every person that hears our words, Lord, that is under the sound of our voice, God, that you provide them with healing, restoration in their hearts, gladness in their spirit, and a rejuvenation to their lives, Father God. In this month of love, Father God, allow each and every one to feel your love, Father, in every aspect, in every corner of their lives. We thank you. We give you praise, honor, and glory tonight, God. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We'll
Everybody
see
take
you
care.
next week at 8 o'clock. And if you've made it to the end of this podcast, we're going to ask you to put a train in the...
Choo-choo.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know he was going to do that. We're going to ask you to put a train in the comment section.
Yep.
See you next week, everybody.
See you guys.